Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Welcome. Let me see what is going on. Oh man, listen. Y'all there? Let me know. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome. Let me see what's going on in my chat real quick. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Um, welcome everybody. Welcome. Let's see. What is going on? Shout out to everybody in the chat, y'all. We got so many things to get into today. We have been waiting for the curious case of Ban Margera to release, and it has released. Some of us, well, I know I watched it this morning. I watched it twice. I watched it early in the morning, and then I watched it again with my supporters on Discord. Some of you guys watched it on Discord as well. So, um, we're gonna do a reaction about it. We're gonna talk about it. I kind of want to know where everybody stands, where everybody's thinking. Where do you guys go from here? What do you guys think? I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of questions that came out of this. And so welcome everybody. And I hope I did put it on 10-minute sub mode only because the level of trolling that BJ receives, it's like crazy. It's just crazy. So yeah, we don't have time for the nonsense. If you have an actual opinion or a thought or behind any of this, we're all here for it. I'm doing a little bit better. I'm still like congested. I don't know if y'all can see the redness on my nose, but I am using tissue thanks to Sylvia. Thank you. I still have a lot of leftover from the last sickness. But you know what? We gonna do what we gonna do. You said I tried to watch it last night, but it wasn't on the app yet. So it wasn't on the app yet late at night. It was on the app this morning. So that's how I was able to definitely watch it. But all right, so let's start. I took some notes. I do have some notes about the whole thing, okay? Um the basis of this thing starts with Ban Margera, right? And kind of how we got here. They interview Steve-O. They interview Bam's family. Now, to be fair, I'm see if I have a pen here. To be fair, some of us came into, for me at least, the Bam Margera free Bam thing was already up and done. I came in, to this whole situation maybe later on and didn't see everything kind of play out the way that I did, I would say. However, um, the way that they're playing this out, it's very much about conservatorship, guardianship, and there being a difference, and people's rights. Bam claiming to be the at least the Britney Spears of you know of the conservatorship situation. Basically, that's kind of how it went down from there. And so even at the start, I was like, okay, like this is Bam's side. I see what's going on. You have a man that is, said to be struggling with substance abuse, right? And that he's been doing this for quite some time. And so those that say that love him wanted some level of control over that, right? Um, Here comes Lima Jevremovic, who is labeled as an entrepreneur in the mental health field. Now, the way that she's kind of introduced to this, right? Like Beth Karras, I think that's her name, the attorney legal analyst lady, literally comes in here and was like, all right, we're gonna examine this. She's got a whole little case situation, yada yada yada. They're gonna sit down and examine this whole thing, right? And they start kind of breaking this down in the sense of like, she's an entrepreneur, and I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, where the hell are her qualifications? She got a high school diploma. She got a college degree, a master's, a doctorate. Nothing is shown to show any of that. I was literally waiting for them to be like, this is her upbringing. What we're hearing is that Lima sounds like she went through some of her own trauma as a child, her and her sisters, very horrible things at the hands of what looks to be, their father. And they had to kind of escape that, right? And so that is the fire and the motivation for her to come in here into the mental health field swinging, right? Which to me Doesn't make sense. Now, hold up, hold up, hold up. I keep hearing this little name right here. Let me see. Who is this? I got something to say about this little person right here. Is he in the comments? Let me know because we don't the clownery behind this. Let me make sure. This name right here, whose name I don't even want to speak because this person right here, I don't know why he's given any credibility in any of this. I don't understand how they put Jamie Gilmore up there when she's a known liar. Okay, literally admitting to doxing, which, by the way, for the record, let's put this out here. BJ didn't start that Discord. So it was kind of like this hit piece on BJ's supporters and fans and stuff like that. I don't understand. So they literally said that this Discord was meant to, I don't know, attack Lima and her family and whatnot. That's not how it happened. That's not how it happened. I was there when that happened. That's not how it happened. It just wasn't. I saw it all go down. BJ in like 5 different videos has said, I don't support the Discord. I don't know the Discord. What is going on? Yeah, this guy right here who was interviewed, who like you could tell lives in his mother's basement. Whatever, I don't care, y'all. The rent is expensive. Please note that. But I'm just saying, like literally right here, none of this shit right here has anything to do with BJ, and he literally inserted himself in that for clout. Why is he being interviewed? Like who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I don't know you. Nobody knows you here. The narrative was BS from the Jamie Gilmore girl, which, by the way, she still reaches out to people. Like, literally, we will get emails from this girl. Nobody's calling her, nobody's talking to her, and she'll start emailing people. And we're like, why are you? She put my channel name in shit and other folks in shit just to try, like, to lie. I couldn't believe it. And she's sitting there with these puffballs on her head literally fucking lying. Like I couldn't believe that part and nobody pushed back. Oh yeah, and that clown too. Thank you. I have never spoken to that degenerate clown. I am actually afraid of him as I feel he has stalked me. Who even is this lunatic? We don't know him. I don't know him. Like literally, we don't know him anything. So for them to have interviewed him and the other girl, I was like, who's that? Where'd that guy come from? Huh? We were a fan and he's taking these rights. Who are you? We never seen you do a video about any of this. Where'd you come from? I swear that they just like, did they put an ad out there to see who wants to do an interview about any of this? Thank you. And you have. I have repeatedly denounced that surprise army. I have never been in that supposed. No. Just because somebody has a Discord account doesn't mean that they're in the fucking Discord. Then get this, y'all. Then when all of this was going down, we have a Discord. We run a pretty tight ship on my Discord, I'd like to say. There was a person that tried to come in there who also started shit in the Discord, and she was kicked out along with her 50 other accounts. There have been many, many of people that have been kicked out, and this is what I tell y'all. The Vegas rules in my Discord do not apply. Meaning, if you're coming in my Discord thinking that you're going to divulge a bunch of personal information and things are not going to be captured one way or another and someone's not going to use it against you, you're on the wrong app. Discord is for discourse. That's how it is. Like, it is what it is. Is it a cool app? Yeah, but not everybody uses it responsibly. I have over 700 members in that Discord. People come and go, people create new accounts, people do different things. But that being said, though, I have never seen, even as close as I've been to BJ, has she ever said to me, go attack this person or go do any of this. I love the fact that the people that they interviewed are people that have legitimately done bullshit in anything free Bam or free Britney or free any of this bullshit. And then they said that people ordered them to do it. No, she did not whatsoever. Never. But did they show that in this documentary hit piece? No, they didn't. They didn't show that at all. I want to know, when did it become BJ's responsibility to care for somebody else's mental health? Let's be real. When did it become BJ's responsibility, like any YouTuber? My mental health is not your responsibility. Let's be real. I may have the shittiest day in the world. I may be crying, and I may be bawling my eyes out, but my mental health is not your responsibility, and neither is anybody else's. Let's be real, right? So why is Lima or Dima and Dahlia's mental health somehow, that is BJ's responsibility one way or another? Like, whatever happened here online, no, it's not. You can't blame BJ for any of that. That sounds like a lot of shit that has happened. That sounds like a lot of BS, in my opinion. And if anything, what's been proved is what actually got investigated from any of the body cam footage in Tulsa. That's the question. That's the question that I think a lot of people have had. If Lima, and please note, do not direct any hate. This is just commentary. Hold up. Let me put a sign over here. Okay. This is just commentary purposes. My thoughts and opinions, do not direct any hate. This is not a cult. There is no cult following. I take that shit. I took a lot of offense to, because what that told me is that you really think that people that have supported BJ in legal funds, which, by the way, the legal abuse, that whole legality situation against BJ wasn't even brought up. The misuse of the legal system was not brought up in any of this, in this hour of a documentary whatsoever. Let me put this up real quick. If somebody took guardianship or conservatorship or whatever the hell y'all want to call it, okay? It's interchangeable, as they may not be the same thing. This is what Beth Crass said, but it's interchangeable, right? Thank you. I'm going to put this up right here. All right. Oh yeah, they're not mentioning that, right? Like, they're not mentioning the legal abuse, and then also BJ winning, BJ winning, BJ winning, right? If I happen to be, and please note this, okay, and I'm sure everybody here in the chat would agree. If I am so, like, if I'm in psychosis, if I'm in a mental health struggle, whatever it may be, okay, and if somebody takes conservatorship or legal whatever, guardianship over me and my healthcare, my finances, whatever it may be, I would hope that my family wouldn't set me up in a situation where there's not enough studies to talk about this aura or this virtual reality treatment thing. There's a lot out there that have talked about it, but there hasn't been a lot of supportive evidence to say that there is some success rate from here. Now, she took issue with the with what happened with their sisters. Lima, your story about your sisters has been the push for aura. I'm not speaking again. Like, this is her words. She started Aura because her sisters motivated, right? Like, she wanted to find something. And behind that, as a woman who has a lot of family, right? Who understands this, I get this. I get being frustrated with the system and not being able to find an answer. I have a lot of addicts in my family too. I get it. How do you deal with that, especially when you see somebody, your loved one, either with severe mental health or an addict or whatever it may be? What do you do in situations like this, right? But you also didn't do right by any of this whatsoever, girl. You didn't. You used their story. I remember, if I remember correctly, didn't they OD like 7 times that she had to bring them back? The twins? That wasn't brought up in this episode. Why? Why wasn't this brought up in the episode? That's what I want to know. There was a lot that was said, and there was a lot that was omitted from here. They literally made BJ's supporters look like everybody's in a cult. But look who the hell they interviewed. They didn't go into the legal documents. They didn't see the misuse of the legal system. They didn't see any of this whatsoever. They didn't go into the deep dive of the body cam footage. They didn't talk about where did this human trafficking situation, where did the narrative come from? Who said it first? None of that came out of that. And then it was like an hour of this, and I'm like, oh, this is like, I get it. Like, it was like Beth was like, they both started with great intentions, but somehow they missed the plot. And I sat there and I was like, wait a minute. We're skipping shit. This has been going on for like 2-3 years, 4 years now, if not. Why didn't Lima, why didn't you sue Jamie Gilmore for admitting to doxing? She said it in the video on fucking national television. Why didn't you sue her for that? Why didn't you sue any of these? I want to know. The people have questions. Why aren't those people being sued? Beth not only missed the plot, she missed the bus. She missed it all. She literally got, look, I will give you this. I said, look, I thought for a minute, I was like, all right. She did the comparison because this is where my mind went completely when she made the comparison to the Theranos lady. What's her name? Elizabeth. I want to say Smart, but that's not her last name. Y'all put the last name in the chat, okay? She said that Lima reminded her to the Elizabeth lady, okay, the Theranos lady, the lady with the blood, who basically, if you guys, like, I thought that was interesting that she made that comparison. I said, oh shit, this is Beth making that comparison. The legal analyst who's narrating this whole thing, she's making this comparison. Elizabeth Holmes, thank you. I don't know why it's Smart, because there's Elizabeth Smart and then there's Elizabeth Holmes. Okay, Elizabeth Holmes is the Silicon Valley lady who basically defrauded investors, because that's what she did, into investing into this blood machine that was supposed to, cure cancer and do different things and basically be able to do blood tests without people being hurt, right? Keep that in mind. So she did all this, right? She did all this. And then at the end of the day, she's serving like an 11 or year prison sentence right now because she defrauded a lot of people. I found it so interesting, Lima. That's what came out of Beth's mouth. She made that comparison. I need you to sit back and just reflect on that a little bit because I thought that was pretty deep. That Beth did make that comparison, right? But at the same time, where in my opinion, Beth missed the mark is that you cannot do a documentary for an hour and really put everything into perspective about what has been said, because at the end of the day, there are people out here that truly, the people that follow BJ are people that come from all ranges of career paths. You have people that have, a really deep need for justice that I've seen in her chat all the time, that they're really passionate people. It's not a cult. I think it's pretty fucked up that that's the narrative that has been said. And BJ has said it to everybody. Y'all don't pay my bills. I don't work for anybody. I work for the Lord. And some folks feel like, oh my gosh, she works for the Lord. Well, hell, if you're spiritual, you work for however the hell you want to. Some people have said in the chat, I take issue that she says she's the queen of YouTube. Yeah, she's the queen of her court. Why should she take her crown off for anything other? I'm the queen of my channel too. I'm the queen of what I want to be a queen of. I am the queen of the things that I demand to be a queen of. That's fine. What's wrong with that? It's her channel, it's her whatever, and y'all have taken issue with that. I don't take issue with it. I think it's great. More power to her. It was frustrating. How about the fact that Lima and Jamie Gilmore are friends and speaking on the phone? Oh, they didn't show that part. They didn't show that part, right? They didn't show that part whatsoever. They didn't show that part where she was on the phone. The media is trying to discredit us because they want us to think that we are crazy and they can keep people into conservatorships and control them. That's what it is. They can take issue and take a number too. Yeah, it's the fucking DMV. Go sit down and take a number, girl. I'm the queen of my court, just like she's the queen of her court. Whatever, if it's YouTube, if it's my house, the CEO is the CEO. I mean, it is what it is. Why do people take issue with that? Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't know, Desi. That's a good point. People hate when women acknowledge their own power in their own space, in their own motherfucking way. Period. There's a lot of people that take issue with that. I love that you said this, Cheeks. Thank you. Remember when Lima called Jamie Gilmore saying how sweet she was for the last message? It's up there. Jamie put my channel name into this legal document saying that somehow I had like I told her to go do something. That never happened. Jamie Gilmore was in my Discord messaging me, and I never really like interacted like that. There were other followers and supporters that would super chat me for me to say something different than what they wanted me to say. Like it was weird, because they do that. Some people will super chat you to read something that they want you to say and whatever. That has happened time and time again to run a narrative. That's why I'm like, I don't. I could not believe that they used Jamie Gilmore for this. Why did Jamie Gilmore say all this? And then at the end of the day, she goes in there and she lies. And then she's still reaching out to us, to me, to email me about other shit that I'm like, girl, I don't want any contact with you. And I know that BJ has said more than once, I don't want any contact with you. After all this shit, like, don't contact people. So if people were so bad, then why are you coming back over here, girl? Several times. I'm not joking. I'm not. I be getting messages and I'm like, what is this all about? Girl, like, I don't know you. Like, and then you put my channel into shit. You said that I had something to do, and that never happened. That never happened. That never happened. You know what? Colorado Mountain 2025 is looking like it will be the corporate downfall of corporate media, to be honest. I'm so glad it's looking like it's coming this way because they're so corrupt and frustrating. Let me tell you something. There's another point that I'll give a point to Beth about, okay? Thank you, my love, Steeler Princess. Sorry. She says, CEO hot chocolate bun. Thank you. That might be for a decongestant. Thank you, love. I got to say something about this, okay? You had a situation where Lima goes into Ban Margera's house. This is something that Beth called out, and I thought this was important too because it's the truth. This is a misuse of police force. Ban Margera and his partner, they're going over to the house, right? There's a part in this episode where BJ is wearing shiny fucking pants, okay? They're not BJ, I'm sorry, Lima. I'm looking at BJ and I'm thinking of, she's wearing like the what are those called? I mean, like I was like, girl, like, she got a little fashionist thing going on. She's she likes to dress up. Shout out to her. But she's out there and she's calling the police, right? And yeah, the space pants, okay? Let me say this, okay? She's calling the police. You said the jester pants, not the I mean, like, oh, they're not, I'm not gonna go wear them for a fucking intervention. Let me just say this, like, girl, you in the mental health field. I'm not saying that you got to be all like a certain way, but there's a certain way to be about this. So I'm just gonna say that, okay? I'm giving a little comedic commentary to this, all right? And the stilettos in the fucking grass. I said, girl, girl, there were stilettos. It wasn't stilettos. There were the space pants. Anyways, she's out there. Bam is in the house. He's not doing shit. He's out there in the property, having whatever conversation he wants to have with, his family or whatever. Here comes Lima with the cops. And it's not just the cops, the fucking film crew, okay? This woman is saying that she was put to be as a guardian for Bam so that she could be the bad guy. She's going to take the shots. She's going to do this. That is the wrong reason to put somebody in that position to be a guardian. I couldn't understand this part, all right? Let me be very real. The fact that you even said this on national television, that you are put in there because you're the guardian and you're supposed to be the bad person because the family don't have the cojones or the huevos to do it. Maybe they have done it. I don't really know. But I see this codependent relationship. Are they afraid to be the bad guy because they're also getting some kind of financial incentive from Bam? Like they can't just excuse him all the way? I'm sorry. Let's just be real. As somebody who's dealt with addicts in her own family, if the addict has a little bit of money, are y'all just struggling with putting him in his place because of it? Like, what is the deal? Because if this man is saying that he's going to shoot up me and my family or whatever, bitch, you ain't coming into my house. Okay, I love you, son, mother, daughter, whatever it may be, the situationship. But let's get it all the way 100. They put Lima in that situation to be the bad guy, or the person that takes the punches. Then she says, she makes fun of this situation. This is the part that really got to me, where she's having a conversation with Bam. She's like, I am your guardian. This is like a mother and son relationship. No, girl, you got it all effed up when you said that, because that is not what it is. Reevaluate why you were put in that position, because it's off. I don't think that that's why you were put there. And if you were put there, then you were put there for the wrong reasons. And if I were you, I'd be like, respectfully, this makes my position as the owner of a company that's really thriving for mental health services in the wrong place. Let me get the fuck out of here. Like, that's not what I want. And also, not only am I the owner of this mental health company whose products are being used by Bam Margera, who I'm a guardian of, but also the ethical implications in between that are just so fucking off. Let me sit back a little bit and reevaluate there, because you can't just be his mother and son relationship and also be an owner of this company and also be the bad guy. Like, a lot of this is so off overall. And that's just as an outsider. So when Beth was talking about this damn police showing up, right? And that's a misuse of police force. It's inappropriate. Thank you. Inappropriate to the highest degree. For anybody that has worked in treatment or in centers or anything, you would know. Okay. She's the owner of the company. She's a Hollywood entrepreneur in the mental health field. All right. Okay. Keep that in mind. And then she's telling Bam, this is a mother and daughter relationship. Bam is complimenting the way that she looks. Oh, you look cute. Oh, thank you. Hug. Girl, what? It's a huge conflict of interest, but that's the failure of this fucking 15-minute episode of The Curious Case, with a lot of fucking commercials, by the way. Let me just put that out there, especially for, already paying for something. It's a huge conflict of interest. You can't be in that position, girl. You can't. So please note that when I'm coming here, I'm noticing the biggest red flags, that being one of them. Beth called out the fact that there's a misuse of law enforcement in place. I would agree. I would agree. There is. I don't know. Like, it's really, this is the part that I don't get, right? Because if this man has a little bit of money, let's just say that that's what the case is, right? And he is literally wasting himself away, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, that is still his decision, right? Like, this is, there's a level of responsibility that he would have to take here, right? In a lot of the things that he does. You can't force people into conservatorships or guardianships, into treatment. You can't force that. And so I kind of wonder that the reason why they made Lima this guardian to be the bad person is because the family over here doesn't want to be the bad person, because maybe there's some kind of financial incentive to this, where maybe they're getting money and they don't want to not get money, or I don't know. I'm just speculating. It's a lot of speculation at this point. And by the way, I don't wish anything against Miss April or anybody in this situation. It's clearly a horrible situation. It really is, if you've ever been in a situation like that. But at the same time, I think the comparison, right? They made this little comparison between two angles of, like, they're both very passionate, right? BJ being very passionate because of, she went, I didn't know this about BJ, that when she was in law school, her father passed away around that time, right? And I love how she put this into perspective. She said, in a traditional sense, if you talk about her dad, like, this is like, it's a meth addict, right? But there are people behind the addictions, because addiction is a real disease. Okay. There's people behind that. There's people behind behavior that they display, that in between that, even though we can love them as much as we want, you can love your abuser as much as you want, as Lima was going through what she's going through, that she shared. It's finding, like, the passion that they both found in this was interesting to me. But you can't shipshape the truth to something else. That's what bothers me about this. That it's been this narrative. Somehow BJ is responsible for Lima, or excuse me, Dima and Dahlia running away, and all of this, and repeating this, what she's seen on the internet, and this is what's happened. I'm not buying that bullshit whatsoever. I'm not. I'm not. Them being on the run, I'm not buying any of that as well. I'm just not. Not. Not that it hasn't happened. It's just that I just don't think that putting the blame on a certain person over their mental health issues or their psychosis or their something, that's not okay as well, and it's not solely her responsibility. Lima has to take a lot of accountability to a lot of this, in the sense that she has made her family the reason why this company existed. And so when people got interested, because she is treating people, high profile people, or people that have a lot of questions about this, about what's going on, people are going to want to know, like, hey girl, like, is your closet clean too? Because you're going and doing this, and you bringing a whole fucking camera crew to not only intervene here with the police, but why the camera crew there? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's just me. It could all have been staged. They could have told Dia to say Amanda. I don't trust it. I don't know. Well, and that's the thing, but did they mention that? This whole little episode thing has been running, like, I want to say this has been going on for like a year and a half now. Let me tell you guys something. They contacted me to use one of my clips. They interviewed Mark Leda. Let's talk about Mark Leda here, okay? Mark Leda goes in there and he's like, well, to blame Lima for the death of Amanda. I don't think people are blaming her. She literally went on the internet and misinformed the internet about the cause of death for Amanda Rapp. Guys, she did that, and BJ pointed this out. What did BJ do? She ordered the autopsy report, and I will say that at least Beth highlighted that. And she said that. She said, well, this is what happened. But did they ever answer the question, why did she misreport? Why did she misreport? Why did she misinform the crowd? Even if it was just a mistake, Lima could have easily gone up here and said, guys, you know what? There's a creator here who said, listen, this is her cause of death. And I said this. Therefore, this is what it was. Like, yeah, yes, I said this. Okay, I misinformed. But she didn't even do that. No, she went straight to the lawsuit. The lawsuit then went straight to a bunch of other lawsuits. And it's been a ricochet of things where it's like, what is going on? Like, it was very simple. I don't get it. But I also feel like she wanted, I don't know, like, was it an ego thing? Was it a what thing? I don't know, y'all. And people had questions like, girl, what background do you have to help in this? It can't just be your family story. If for example, it can't just be BJ just can't go out there and practice law based on her experience with a conservatorship, right? I mean, she could do that, but I mean, that's completely up to her. But she needs more experience out there. That's what I'm saying. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. The Lima person sounds high level dangerous. I don't know. There it just I think it was, how do I say this? Like, it was disappointing because initially I said, all right, it's going somewhere where I'm like, I get this middle ground. And then they didn't talk about the legal abuse. They didn't talk about all the shit that has been happening after that. Maybe they need another 2 hours. When they contacted me, I want to say about a year, about using a clip as it pertains to Mark Leda, something that I had said. And thank God I said it. Thank God I declined to have them use any of my clips, because first of all, it's out of my control once I say yes. And they can replay that episode, replay that episode, replay that episode. But they could totally mold things to say one thing or the other. I'm glad that I didn't participate to it. Yeah, I'm glad. And I feel like personally, it was meant to like skew the audience, to make the people think that somehow BJ is running this cult of people that support her. And that's not at all the case. BJ doesn't tell me what to think. BJ doesn't tell me what to feel. I love BJ very much, but if she's wrong about something, I'd say, BJ, you're wrong about X, Y, and Z. Okay? That's how I feel. And guess what? She wouldn't hold that against me. BJ's a real person. Just let y'all know, okay? She really is. And from what I've seen, this is YouTube for her, right? So for me, there's nothing like what I have seen from her personally. There's a real person behind that. I can't say I've seen the same from Lima. I've seen a lot of questions, but maybe there's something behind Lima. And I would love for Lima it would be great for her to answer some of these questions. And I think she'd have the opportunity to really, reason with people. But that's just my thought on that. Let me answer some of these questions. Hold up, y'all. Kathy Meyer, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, love. Steeler Princess. Mana Joe, thank you for being a member for a month, love. Mana Joe says, I haven't watched the doc yet. Should I have even watched? I don't know. Mana Joe, thank you for the $9.99. I don't know if it, for me, what I recommend it's a bit of a hit piece, I think, in my opinion. It was going one way to cut, but I personally feel like it didn't really highlight a lot of the things that happened, a lot of the lies and the inconsistencies. It only highlighted one version of things, and then it basically made the situation look like BJ's followers are irresponsible, or BJ has done X, Y, and Z, and she has not. She never started the Discord server. Show me a receipt. Hey, show me a receipt of where BJ started the Discord and told people to go attack X, Y, and Z. I want to see it. Email me a receipt. I'm sorry, y'all. This is making me upset because I want to see it. I want to see a receipt, because if I see a receipt that says BJ sent people to go attack people, then we got a problem. Then I could be like, BJ, you did. And this is not okay. I have no problem saying that. Show me a receipt of when this happened. I want to know. Put up or shut up. That's what I want. Put up or shut up. Show me a receipt of when this happened. It didn't. It hasn't. She has sent multiple videos. You guys, she said it in her banner. She said this. She said, she has been very clear that she has never sent anybody to go after anybody. If anything, people took it upon themselves to do X, Y, and Z. And then when she found out that people were being stupid, what did she do? She went up and she said, girl, I don't endorse this. I don't support this. I don't bless this. Please stop. Please stop doing that. And she did. And then what do they do? Those same people that said that they supported her turned and said that, oh, she sent me. They lied under perjury. Okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. So stop it. She was very clear. I heard it. I saw it with my eyes play out. But did they play that shit? Did they show that shit in that episode? Did they ask Jamie Gilmore about that? No, they didn't. Did they ask Jamie Gilmore, Jamie, have you contacted any more people from this? What are you doing about this? Are you harassing people? Because she is harassing people. When people say, don't contact me, don't email me, don't tag me. By the way, tagging people on a post or hashtagging somebody on a post is a form of contact, especially when they've said that they don't want contact with you. Don't do it. That's harassment. Has she done that? No. Manager, it's up to you if you watch it, girl, but I'm just letting you know it got pretty deep. New Life Plan, thank you for the 50. You said, thanks for talking about this. BJ Stan, yes. Credential reporters would ask, why did you lie? Read, cause of a death. Point out Lima was a guardian hired by parent already in control of his money. Left that out, Beth. You know what else they left out? New Plan Life. Let me tell you what else they left out. They put Amanda Rabb's dad up there in that video. They didn't put the clip where Amanda said that her dad had violated her. Did they put that up? Did they show that? No. Why didn't they show that? They did not put out there that her dad had violated her. Why didn't they put that up there? That was another piece that they did not show. Y'all go watch BJ's videos. It shows them all clear as day. They blanked out his face. But they didn't show that. Point out Lima was a guardian hired by parents already in control of his money. Left that part out, Beth, just like Daddy Spears and Judas Lynn. Thank you for the 20 new life plan. Says, I hope Beth Karras gets that Chloe Bayless move and BJ releases the full interview. Release it, BJ. Release it. Release it. Because they cut that shit out, didn't they? You know, I thank you, New Plan Life Love. Shout out to you, Love. Thank you for supporting my channel. Would BJ have a case for libel? I mean, I have a lot of questions. I just, BJ, I think could definitely do something here. And shout out to BJ. But I don't know, man, how she's done it for this long. I don't know how she's done it for this long. Could you all do me a favor? Please drop BJ's legal fund in the chat. I forgot to link it. Let me find it right now, because y'all see, this is a good example of the shit that she has had to put up with. Hold up, y'all. Legal fund. Let me see if I can. Thank you. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull it up, because I think this is a perfect example. And if we can confirm, we've donated before as a channel. We might need to do another donation at some point. This is her legal fund. Let me pin it, please. And thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, that Larry Rabb thing, they covered his face, New Life Plan, like literally, but they didn't bring up that part. You guys, Amanda Rabb said and disclosed things about Larry. They blurred his face, but didn't report that part. They didn't show that part. Why not? The situation with Amanda Rabb is pretty complex, okay? Very complex. Like, it is what it is. It's not a black and white situation. It's not a situation where you could be like, oh, she's a drug user. She had a seizure and she died. It didn't happen that way. I mean, look into the treatment center. Why was that treatment center selected? Why? There was issues with the funeral home too. Did anybody look into that? No. The whole Amanda Rabb situation has basically fallen down the wayside. And it's concerning because let me put some shit out here. Amanda Rabb, just like many people, right? When you're in the throes of addiction, you are in a vulnerable state, okay? People target you. Look what happened with Matthew Perry, okay? Look what happened with Matthew Perry. Think about it. Matthew Perry thought that he was being supported by these people, right? And at the end, it turned out to be like you had the ketamine queen, you had doctors behind this, his personal assistant of 24 years aided to this shit. That's what happened. There was people that were working. And so it's like, when we start seeing addiction as an actual disease and really start treating it for what it is, then we'll get somewhere, right? And that people can be vulnerable to that. Absolutely. It doesn't mean that you have to take everything that people say, like when they're in the throes of addiction, like if you're being, threatened, you don't have to take that. There's ways to deal with things like this. And it's a complex problem. It is what it is. But like, it's very easy to target those that they're in addiction. It just is. I'll never forget when Lima did that interview with that one rich guy. What the hell is his name? Where she talked about how some of the people in the homeless encampments and stuff like that, they need to be, put them in conservatorship or jails and put them all in a little camp, all the homeless people, and do this and do that. And I'm like, what? And there's no civil rights situation violation happening here. There is no concern happening here. Nobody's worried at all. Nobody's scared. Because honestly, this shit can happen to any of us. She did. But nobody listens. She's a drug addict. Just, oh well. Oh well. Right. Thank you for saying this. Imagine if the VR wipes those traumatic memories like childhood abuse. Everyone seems to deny things other than them. The VR headset thing, is concerning to me, and I think it's concerning to a lot of people. A lot of stuff in the mental health field is experimental. Like a lot of it starts by experimenting, like EMDR, all these things that are now used, and you can actually like charge insurance companies for. Like, don't get me wrong, it starts with the experimental part. But when there isn't enough studies to something, and then also people that are experimenting with these devices typically have a doctorate or they've been in the field for many, many years. They don't just willy-nilly put a fucking VR headset on these producers and people. All right, put it on. Let's try it on. We are going to take you to a simulated place and we're going to try your triggers. Huh? There's a reason why people either, do hypnosis or they don't. Like, some people swear by it and some people don't. Do insurance companies cover hypnotherapy? That's another example. Like, a lot of this experimental, right? But you can't say that things are 100% a cure. Like, Amanda Rabb's issues would have been a lifelong situation for her, just like Bam's are. He's gonna use, he's gonna get clean, he's gonna relapse. And we pray that he finds a really good measure. Otherwise, it's failure. Like, I welcome things that are experimental, but I also feel like that if they're experimental, they need to be used by people that are accredited. I want to be able to find your accreditations online, your high school diploma, your master's degree, all this shit. I want to be able to find all of that. And I want to make sure that I'm not being used as a trophy, that you're running a GoFundMe with my face in there, 276 days sober. I want to be able to know that you're going to respect that I'm in this treatment and that I'm not some kind of dummy being used to promote a company. I want to make sure that people know that I'm a person. And I don't feel like that's how Amanda Rabb was treated. I don't know, y'all. This documentary was something else. Fucking Steve-O. Steve-O, no place to talk. No place to talk whatsoever. Let me just say that. He comes up there and he's like, well, I can't believe these people are doing this and yada, 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 yada. Hold up. I did EMDR for my childhood trauma and it has helped me tremendously. It was done by a professional, Robin. Thank you. By a professional. Thank you for saying that. It's a really, like, I just think it was a hit piece. But it was a hit piece to make those that support BJ look like somehow we're in a cult and we're, wrong for this. This man was contemplating a boob job like a year ago. Steve-O wanted to be a clown and went to clown school initially. I'm not understanding. And this is not coming from somebody like, I'm not a Jackass fan, a Bam Margera fan or anything like that. This is coming as somebody who's outside of that circle. Like, I can't tell you that I can watch videos of people getting hurt and like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Shout out to them that they were able to do that and whatnot. This is literally coming from a place of just being just concerned for all of them. He's a clown. I just couldn't believe it. And I love, he's like, well, Jackass wasn't about drug abuse and he was fine when he was, we weren't promoting the drug use. I'm like, bullshit. You mean to tell me that people weren't using drugs on that set? Well, I've been clean and sober. That's great. But you mean to tell me that you weren't using shit behind those days? Like, stop it. Stop it. Okay, you got sober. Congratulations. I'm glad. Good. I'm glad, but don't sit in here trying to, like, who knows? Like, did anybody enable Bam's behavior in Jackass? It makes you wonder. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You grew up with Bam in the MTV show. A lot of people did. The piece that was meant to be based for basic people who don't know about the situation, it's for them to ignore any news they may hear about these human rights issues. Right. Thank you. Oh, yes. YouTubers exposing truth. Mass media is controlled to spread lies. Go donate for BJ. She's almost at 60,000. We can help her get there. That's amazing. Yeah, she really is almost at 6. She's at 58,000. 58,946, y'all. She's almost there. Let me show you guys. Like, but they didn't talk about this lawsuit, did they? They didn't mention this lawsuit whatsoever. They didn't mention the harassment. They didn't mention the gang stalking. They didn't mention any of that. That was just so interesting to me. Does anyone have an update on Lima's sister? No. I mean, they appeared on that video. That's all we know is that they appeared there. But I don't think anybody has an update. My thing is when they talked about they were YouTube stars, and I was their number one fan. That's what she said. They were YouTube stars. I'm like, okay. And then they disappeared. She said that they took Molly at a party and then suddenly everything happened. So that, like, the narrative. Okay, let's go back a little bit. For those that watched it on the Discord, she said that she took Molly. Like, the sisters took Molly at a party, and then after they took Molly, like, everything kind of went to the wayside after that. That changes things a little bit for me because I feel like that's a little bit of a different narrative that's been given before. Because she said that there was trauma, and then suddenly the trauma was triggered and they were misdiagnosed with schizophrenia, and then they were given cocktails and cocktails of drugs and stuff like that. I was so confused. But she said that the sisters were given Molly, and then suddenly something happened at a party and they were never the same. They were never the same after the Molly. Do y'all remember that? Let me know if you remember that. Yeah, that wasn't said before, Isabella. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't remember this piece, y'all. Let me blow my nose. Hold up. Ooh, sorry, y'all. I had to blow my nose. Yeah, so in the documentary, Lima says that her sisters were giving Molly, and that they were at a party, they were giving Molly, and they were never the same before, like after that. And so that kind of changed the course of everything, like going to this party and everything that happened. In the doc, yeah, they said that they went to a party and they took the Molly, but that was the first time I've ever heard. So it was almost like drug-induced psychosis is what started the mental health spiral of the sisters, Dima and Dahlia. When she said that, I had never heard that before, at least straight from her mouth. What I have heard Lima say before was that it was, yeah, Molly is a drug for those that don't know. Okay. And I can pull up the direct definition of Molly because I don't want to get too technical on it, but um it's ecstasy. That's what it is. So if I remember correctly, she said that they had struggled and, suddenly they started having these issues because of the abuse that they had been through at the hands of their dad. And then they had OD'd a couple times and then they were brought back to life. Like, I think she said, if I remember, the number 7 is standing up in my mind. That's what I remember. So then the sisters make an appearance, but they don't directly talk to anybody. So that was a little bit different to me. Her story changes. She blames her dad at first. That's what I thought it was. And so now it's been a shift of different things. Yeah, but it affected them for a few days, but I never heard of long-term schizophrenia because of use. Like, I've heard of, what is it? What's the word? I forgot the word, but there's been something like psychosis induced by drugs. But there's I'm sure that there's a DSM word for this. That's a lot more technical than I'm giving y'all. But there is something like that, right? And so it sounds like currently they're dealing with struggling with addiction issues. Now, one thing that was really interesting to me that also I had a question about was she said that when her sister ran or escaped the treatment center or something, they found her at a library and they had like body cam footage of that, right? And they were filming this part. But if I remember, they didn't want to post it online about her being missing because they were worried about BJ's fans using that to target, the sisters and Lima and whatnot. But she had posted something, and I remember there was a hashtag human trafficking or something like that was posted, something to that effect. And she posted human trafficking when her sister went missing. I'm pretty sure that that's how a lot of people were like pointing that out. Human trafficking. So she's been trafficked. Yes, thank you. Psychosis only induced by drugs. So she said the psychosis, the drug, the Molly was then what caused a lot of the mental health issues afterwards. We'd have to look into other cases where drugs, like a continued use of drugs, I could see where psychosis would happen, right? But like a one-time use of drugs and then shit being crazy, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I remember that. Yeah, because she said that she was the one who did the human trafficking. I remember that. I remember it was a hashtag out of Lima's missing sister situation and that happening. Here's TB says, why were the sisters not on the screen at the same time? It was a hit piece to make BJ look bad. Hot Snake CEO daughter blew out Lima's birthday candles. Oh, and they didn't talk about that, right? They didn't talk about that. TB, they didn't talk about that whatsoever. I mean, there's a lot of shit that they left out. Um, at the end of the day, like that just tells me, and I think it should empower people here on YouTube to say that, narratives are going to be shaped one way or another, when it comes to this. They didn't show everything. And then the people that they showed, this fucking the Carney guy who, he's like, well, I was a supporter, and then suddenly, it became this, and then I was the bad guy. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Nobody's seen you anywhere. Who are you? Who are you? And then you had Jamie Gilmore who lied, and then she's used to do this interview. How much they pay you, Jamie? Crazy. I've never seen him either, that Ellen. I've never seen his channel. I don't even know who the hell he is. But he literally lied. I think he was dating one of the girls that was in this little situation. And that girl, that she's gone to other communities as well. Anybody from the Gypsy Rose community? Y'all be careful in the Gypsy Rose community because that girl's a shit starter. She starts a lot of shit, and she's a mod for one of the channels that is very heavy on the Gypsy Rose community. I've been peeping it. Anybody from the Gypsy Rose community? That's the same girl. She was dating that guy, and then I think that's what it was. They were dating or something like that. Yeah. Her. Her. Mm-hmm. She I think she was dating that clown guy. So now she's in the Gypsy Rose community, and she was modding for one of the big channels out there. Y'all be careful with that. Same, yeah. I think if you guys know Morbid, I think she's one of your mods. I'm just saying. Yeah. What a small world in the web. Yep. I've seen her when I saw the Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying. Be safe out there solving these crimes. It was a hit piece, y'all. But you know what though? It honestly, I don't think that it should. I think it should, for those that know the story, for those that have been here, and some of y'all have been here longer than I have. Okay, so shout out to you. For those that know the story, know that how things happen and what really went down. And I think that for some of us, we know where BJ's heart at. We know some of the point here. And this was just it. And to me, it's insulting because it was a hit piece to a lot of people that support BJ. I support BJ. It was a hit piece on all of us in terms of like, well, they're crazy and it's a cult. I don't think I'm part of a cult. I could probably tell BJ today, BJ, you're wrong about X, Y, and Z. But that's my thought and process on that. I may not say it publicly, but I could definitely say it to her privately. And if I ever felt like BJ is pushing me to do X, Y, and Z, then I wouldn't have been part of any of this. That's how I am, y'all. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me what side to pick, okay? They don't put me in the corner and they don't tell me what side to pick. I just don't. I follow. I do not conform. I follow the tune to my own song, and that's what I do when it comes to situations like that. That's how I feel. Thank you. Yeah, not scared to have people inform people so easily influenced by bullshit. Yeah, that's what it is, right? So it's interesting that narrative was swarmed, but then if we are to believe that everybody's heart is in the right place when it comes to like this situation, like you can push back on BJ, push back on whoever you want, push back on whoever you want to. I was just amazed that at the very end, for those that support BJ, we were made to be like this cult. And again, I am not in that surprise army BJ never started that Discord. BJ never let anybody to go harass or stalk anybody in a Discord or anything. Put up or shut up. Show the receipts. Show the receipts. Show it. That never happened. That never happened. And she said it multiple times in videos. Never happened. Don't believe the hype just because Beth Karras, legal analyst, said it. She was way off in her assessment at the very end. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was an insult, and it was fucked up. But that's how I feel about that. I think everybody else was, right, Ashley? After seeing what we saw, like everybody else was, And, one day, I love when people have said, Rabbit, I don't agree with you on X, Y, and Z, but I still respect you and follow you because I like X, Y, and Z. Cool. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. All right. But at the end of the day, we know where her heart is at. And it was only on one side of a story. That's how I feel about that. It not anymore. Not something that BJ started, that's for sure. And when BJ said, and I think about this, like maybe it was started in a really good way and then it went sideways. You know what I mean? But BJ was right about something. She said, that at some point it got infiltrated and it became something different so that it could be used against BJ in court. And there was a period of time where BJ was very quiet. And I remember this. And people were saying a lot of shit and things were going back and forth. And she couldn't speak because she was trying to respect the legal process, which everybody should, right? And, we would talk about the case. People were being silenced. I was being trolled on Twitter about certain things. And I was like, fuck you. Like, troll whatever you want. I block and I move on. I do what I got to do. I don't respond to everything. People are allowed to say whatever the hell they want to. And then that's how we move. We move accordingly. But I saw people taking advantage of her silence too. Dahlia was repeating stuff BJ said when we found her. Dahlia, when found, Lima is the coolest. Thank you for the 5. Dahlia was repeating stuff BJ said when we found her. Dahlia, when found, Lima is the coolest. Thank you for the 5. I mean, and I'm just going to say that. I didn't watch it because I don't have Discovery Plus. Did they make BJ fall? Yeah, they did, Monica. It was a hit piece on BJ, but at the end of the day, it was very low vibrational. Low vibrational people do the little Reddit army BS. BJ doesn't no, she doesn't. She is shown to be high vibrational and absolutely can see the jealousy by some of the lesser YouTubers. Yep. Yep, definitely. But anyways, guys, that's my thought on that. You guys are entitled to your opinion. Okay? Let me know if you watched it, let me know what you guys think. But I said what I said, and shout out to BJ, y'all. This is BJ's Legal Fund. I did pin it in the comments. Check it out. Let's get her to 60,000. She's almost there, y'all. She is almost there. Shout out to everybody, and shout out to everybody that supported today. Thank you so much for supporting. Storm, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Shout out to you, love. Thank you. And again, everybody, y'all are amazing. And hold up, let me see what else has been said. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, it's, we're going to be fine. It's discourse, not intercourse. It's a smear campaign on BJ and her followers. But you know what, guys? We know that, like, for me, it's like, I know the truth. I have never said anybody to be stalked or harassed. Never. Neither has BJ. But hey, you know what? Beth Karras and IG investigates, whatever the hell it's called. We knew what was coming. This is why I didn't consent to people using my shit. I do not consent. I do not conform. Y'all are amazing. Thank you guys so much. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, it's going to be all right. Shout out to BJ. Make sure you guys go share some love and support to her. I will see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button. Bye, guys. I got to blow my nose. It's all over here. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.